What's up, YouTube? Haterade Cowboy here. Today, I wanted to discuss 5 essential accessories for your home theater. I want to discuss 5 essential accessories that can maximize your home theater, but also make your home theater experience more seamless. The first thing on my list is going to be a universal remote. Here, I have the Harmony Elite Universal Remote. Now, this thing is awesome. Unfortunately, Harmony has stopped making these remotes, all remotes, their whole lineup. So you may be able to still find one, maybe a used one. I think they're pretty expensive now on Amazon for new, but you can definitely look around and I'm sure you can find some used ones. But this thing is a lifesaver. So this remote, for those of you that don't know, is a universal remote and it's programmable. So there's like 225,000 plus devices that you can program with this thing. So what you can do is you can program all of your audio and video gear and you can program it into one remote. So instead of having a remote for your Xbox media, obviously you're going to use your remote for the Xbox, but instead of having a remote for one remote for your projector, one remote for your Blu-ray player, one remote for your TV, one remote for your Apple TV, you don't have to deal with that. This thing will control all of it and it has all the same functions of all of your remotes. But it also comes with a hub that I have here, as you can see. So your remote talks to the hub and the hub talks to all your devices. So you can buy a remote by itself and use it just with the infrared, or you can use the remote, or I'm sorry, you can use the hub as well. Now there are 3 different types of remotes that I use in my home. I use the Harmony Elite for my home theater, and then I have 2 other remotes which I'll also show you. So I have the Harmony 1, I believe this is the Harmony 1, and then I have the Harmony Smart Control. These also work with hubs, and I have a hub individually for each remote. I use this one in my living room and this one in my bedroom, but we don't care about those. We care about home theater. So I have about 8 devices in my theater room. My Harmony Elite controls all of them, and I have all the full functions, all of the buttons that I can control and program, and it also can control my smart lights if I wanted to. So this is something that will make your life so much easier. You don't have to walk around and fumble and try to find a different remote for each component that you're using, or try to find a remote when maybe you've lost it. You don't know where it is. You can't find it. You don't have to deal with that. And with the Harmony remote, I can control each device individually or as a group with activities. So here I have opened the My Harmony software. Now there are 2 ways that you can program your Harmony remote. You can use an app that you download on your phone, or you can use the desktop software. I prefer the software because there's a little bit more features and customization that's not available on the app. But when you open it up, you'll see all the remotes that you have set up. So I'm going to go to Harmony Elite. And so here I can customize it any way I want to. So I have all my devices, as you can see here. Groups, I don't really have any groups set up. Activities, this is what I was saying, you can set up activities. So when you set up an activity, you hit this plus sign, and let's say I want to set up a, let's do watch a movie. So I already have one set up, and it's suggesting an activity for me to create. So I'm going to hit additional watch a movie. I'm going to hit next. And then you can name it to whatever you want. I'm going to leave that as it is just for this purpose of this video. Go next. And then here I can select all the devices that I want specifically for that activity. So I use my Epson projector, so I need to select that. I use my Oppo for movies. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to select my AV receiver. Now, as you can see, the software has already selected it. It knows what I have, and it's basically just suggesting. But if I wanted to use something else to watch movies, if I wanted to use my Xbox or my Shield, I could select those as well. So we'll go to next. And it's going to ask you, which device do you use to control the volume in your watch the movie activity? So I use my AV receiver. It's already selected, so that's good. We'll go next. And then it's going to ask me, which input do I use on my watch a movie? So when we hit next, we're going to select HDMI 1 on the Epson projector. Now it's asking me which input should I select on my Oppo home theater. We're going to do Blu-ray because that's what I'm going to put the disc in, as we're going to use it as a Blu-ray player. But it does have HDMI in, so you can connect something to the Oppo, maybe another source, and you can use the Oppo Blu-ray player's processing, video processing, which is really nice because it has really good processing, leaps and bounds above pretty much anything else that's even on the market still now, even though they don't make them anymore. And then it's going to ask me, which input should your Anthem AV receiver be set to when you start your activity? So the hub will send out the commands to all your devices, and it will do all of the switching on your receiver. So let's just say input 1. We'll hit next. Now it's asking me to confirm if everything looks right. So my Epson HDMI 1, my Oppo Blu-ray player input Blu-ray, and then my AV receiver controls the volume input 1. So I'm just going to cancel this because I don't want to set it up, but this is what you would do. And then after you set it up, I can go back here, I can go to activities, I can see all the activities I have, I can click on one, click on Shield, I can view my settings, I can change settings, I can delete the activity, or I can customize it if I need to make some changes. And you can do that with any of your activities. So we'll go back to home. I can change what a button does. So I can change what a button does either in an activity, AV commands, or I can sign home controls. So you can, let's go to watch a movie. Go. So here I can add different buttons or commands. So let's say I wanted to add a command for Anthem receiver. And what this does is I can select, let's say I want to do a direction left. I can add this to my screen. So the Harmony Elite and the Harmony One has an LCD screen on it, and it's touchscreen. So you can control with the hard buttons on the remote, or you can control with the touchscreen. So here I can just add different buttons if I don't want to go into the actual menu on the remote, because I can also pull up the remote has menus, and I can also pull up each individual component that I'm using, and I can pull up whatever control that I want to for that remote. It's stored in the remote. So I can do that here. I'm going to hit cancel. Go back to home. And then it tells me how many devices that I have. And says that I can add 7 more. So with this remote, I can have up to 18 devices stored in this remote. So it's completely customizable. Favorites also, if you have Xfinity or AT&T Uverse, you can program your favorite channels into this remote too, and you can see them all on screen. All you do is you press a button, and then it changes your cable provider, the cable box. It changes it to that channel. So completely customizable. I would highly encourage you, if you can find one, don't spend $500 because they're not making them anymore. You're going to see a lot of inflated prices, but if you can find one, even used, this is an awesome tool for your home theater. You will not regret the purchase at all. So this is what I wanted to show you, the actual remote, the functions of the remote. So as you can see here, I have my activities. So if I were to press Shield TV, and you can name these whatever you want. You can name it like Watch TV, Watch Shield TV. You can name it whatever you want. But if I were to hit Shield TV, it would turn on my projector, it would turn on my receiver, it would, turn on my Shield, even though it's technically already on, but it would turn everything on and I would be able to control all my components with one remote. So it's not gonna turn on my Xbox or my Apple TV unless I hit Xbox One. So, and then here is what I wanted to show you, devices. So here's where I can individually control each component without needing to go and get a separate remote. So if I scroll up, you can see I have my Epson projector, Microsoft Game Control, Sony PS4, Apple TV. So I can go in here and I can also individually control each button or use each button. So a lot of these controls are not going to be in the activities just because, you don't really need them. The activities is mainly where you use like normal functions like volume up and down, your channel up, exit, menu, skip, back, fast forward, play, pause. That's what the activities is mainly going to do. But if I actually needed to go into the settings of one of my components, this is where I can go. So if I needed to check something in my Epson projector, then I could go in there and I have all the controls on the remote and it's all in one remote. I don't have to go find my remote and, I can control the lens. Anything that you can do on the remote, it's programmed into the Harmony remote. So then if I want to go back to activities, I can do that. And I think you can program as many activities as you want. So then down here you have your pretty much standard color buttons. So when you program an activity and it programs, like a Blu-ray player or Xbox, it's gonna program it to use the same functions as these buttons. Now with Xbox, obviously you're not gonna be able to like play a video game with this thing or anything. But if there's like functions, if you're watching a movie, watching a TV show, this is gonna work the same way as the colors on the Xbox remote or your Oppo player or Roku, whatever. And then down here, you have your home controls. So you can control your lights here. And then like if you have like a smart switch, you can control that. And then this, you can control the brightness or the dim of your lights. For some reason, mine stopped working and I haven't been able to get it working here. But I can also go into devices and I can go to my lights and it'll tell me how many are on right now. So I have my island lights on. I don't know if you can see. So my island lights are on right now. So if I go here, I can turn them off. And now they're off. And if I turn them back on, and you see how fast it is. So awesome remote. If you can find one, you're probably gonna be able to find one used that's cheaper than new because like I said, Harmony, they stopped making them. I don't know why. I love it. It does have its quirks sometimes, but they're selling for like $500-$600 now because they're not making them anymore. So don't pay that. But if you can find them online somewhere, used, somebody might be selling it, it's a great investment for your home theater. Next, I have a laser measure. And while I do occasionally play with my cat with this, there's so much more to this device. So this is a laser measure. Now, this is very important because when you're doing your calibrations for your receiver or preprocessor, you can set the distances in your receiver, but you want to do it accurately. And this is going to be extremely accurate because it's a laser. So what you can do is you can point this from your listening position, your main listening position, and you can point it at your speakers. The good thing about this is once you find the distance, you can lock it. You can record the distance in your receiver or pre-pro. So this is very handy. It's not that expensive. You can find it on Amazon. That's where I got mine. I'll make sure to include a link in the description. Next on my list is going to be an SPL meter. Now, technically, your receiver or pre-pro already has one in its calibration mic. So when you do your calibration for your speakers, it's probably using an SPL meter internally or within the mic. But sometimes that microphone doesn't do that good of a job. So this is where having an external SPL meter comes in handy. All calibration mics are not created equal. So when you're running your calibration on your speakers, sometimes the microphone or the receiver might set the volume levels too high, or it might set it too low. This is going to be your most accurate reading. So you can sit in your main listening position and you can run the test tones, or you can turn on the white noise in your receiver, whatever it's called in your receiver, and you can measure from your main listening position, and you want to achieve 75 dB. Now, when you're using this, I don't know if you can see this very well, but there's going to be two settings that you're going to want to look at. You're going to want to look at fast and slow setting, and you're going to want to set that to slow, and then you're going to want to set the AC setting to C weighted. You can also use the SPL meter to just double check and make sure that your receiver or pre-pro calibrated everything correctly. For us home theater enthusiasts, we want the best sound that we can get out of our system and our listening area. So having a SPL meter, an external SPL meter, will just give you that much more room to get and achieve good sound.
The next thing on my list that I want to discuss is acoustic panels, or acoustic treatment for your room. Now, acoustic treatment is one of the most important accessories, if not the most important thing that you can do for your room to maximize your home theater experience. Why is acoustic treatment so important? Well, because walls are flat, and every room is made up of flat walls. But these walls will naturally produce acoustic reverberation and room nodes. And acoustic panels, like the ones you see behind me, these help in absorbing some of that sound. Now, you can test this by standing in your room and clapping. Or go into a room that has no acoustic treatment and clap. You're going to hear reverberation. That is the sound of noise, or whatever it is that you're playing. If you're listening to music, you're watching a movie, the sound is bouncing off of those flat walls and staying in the room longer than it needs to be. This is going to color the sound. You don't want that. What you want is to have some surfaces with acoustic treatment, maybe some acoustic diffusers or diffuser panels, and some bass traps. This is going to really help the sound in your room. Now, you don't want to cover the whole wall or all your walls with acoustic treatment because you do want some natural reverberation in that room. But acoustic panels, acoustic diffusers, and bass traps are going to be your main three acoustic treatment for your rooms. Acoustic treatment is very, very important when trying to achieve the best sound in your listening space or home theater. Here I have some different types of acoustic panels on my wall. This is the left side of my wall, or the left side of my screen. So as you can see, underneath that left speaker, I have an acoustic panel from Acoustimac.com, and I'll post links in the description. And then above my bobbleheads, there's another Acoustimac acoustic panel And the one in the middle is one that I actually made myself. It's a DIY project. I've made 2 of them. I have a couple more that I need to make, about 4. So looking forward to finishing that. And then to the right of that, I have a bass trap. Now, technically that's supposed to be in the corner, but because of how my screen is situated, I'm not able to really put it in the corner too much. But I may try to adjust that in the future. But these are some different things that or different types of acoustic panels that you can use. I really like Acoustimac, the high quality, everything comes to you, very professional looking. And the only thing that I can say about it is it's a little bit expensive. So DIY is going to be obviously way cheaper. It's just going to take you a lot more time, and it may not look as professional as buying it from a store who specializes in that, like Acoustimac.com. Alright, so right now I'm in my living room, and I have an open floor space. It's an open kitchen slash living room slash dining area. But what I really wanted to just show you, or I wanted you to hear, is how it sounds when I clap, because I have absolutely zero acoustic treatment in this area. Not one acoustic panel, anything. Eventually, yeah, I would like to, but it's not really important. Obviously my focus is home theater, but I wanted to give you an A and B comparison. Now, it's not the same space, obviously, but the principle is the same. You know, you have an open space, or even in a closed space that has no acoustic treatment, you're going to get some reverberation. So now I'm going to clap a few times. Hopefully it'll come through on the video. And this is what it sounds like in my theater room with acoustic treatment.
Number 5 is going to be integrating your smart home devices with your home theater. So I have integrated my smart home products with my home theater, and I'm using HomeKit, but you can use Google or you can use Amazon. I prefer HomeKit because for me it's more seamless. I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, and I have a couple HomePod minis, and I've used Google and Amazon's smart home, infrastructure, and I just really wasn't happy with it. So I just decided to make the move to HomeKit, and I've been happier ever since. Now, just like all the other smart home hubs, HomeKit isn't perfect. I'd say about 95% of the time it's pretty flawless, but there are times when HomeKit does mess up or it doesn't recognize what I'm trying to tell her. For instance, I created a scene originally that was called Movie Time, but sometimes Siri would just completely misunderstand me, and she thought that I was asking for movie times in the theater, and so she would start listing off, theaters with movie time. So I had to cancel that, and that got super annoying. So you may have to play around with your naming on your scenes, but for the most part, if you pick something that's gonna work, you're not gonna have any problems with it. So I'm gonna show you in a minute how I'm using HomeKit with my smart home and how I'm utilizing it with Plex. And it can get a little bit, I would say, maybe, I don't want to say difficult, but it can get a little bit tedious because some products aren't compatible with HomeKit, so you have to use a third party like Homebridge, which I'm using, and Plex itself is not natively supported with HomeKit, so I have to use Homebridge to get Plex integration. But that's a whole nother video, something else that we can talk about on another time. I just want to show you how you might be able to use your smart home products with your home theater to make it more seamless and just an overall more enjoyable experience. Because one thing that I will say is that when I have friends over, that's one of the first things that they mention. They say, how do you get your lights to do that whenever you press play or press pause or you stop? So it's really cool. People enjoy it, and it just gives a convenience factor to your home theater. Most of the times when I hit play or hit pause on my remote, I'm either going to the bathroom or I'm going to the kitchen. So I can control my remote to turn on whatever lights that I want. Right now, I currently have them to turn on my riser lights and when I press pause. And also when I press pause, I have the lights in my kitchen to turn on to a certain percentage. That way I don't have to worry about trying to see in the dark where I'm going or what I'm doing. And then when I come back and I hit play on the movie, the lights in the kitchen dim and the riser lights dim as well. So I'm going to show you all that.
All right, so this first clip is going to be when I finished my riser and I was testing out the riser lights with some commands from HomeKit and Siri. So I'm going to show you that as well.
Hey Siri, enter man cave.
Because she's too plain to look well in it. No, you shall not have it. No, Sophie, go! What you tell? I know to tidy plates. Oh, let her have it, Kitty, I'm not done. But it's mine. You don't have it.
Hey Siri, intermission.
All set.
Hey Siri, theater mode.
Okay.
All right, so right now I am sitting in my main listening position and I want to show you how I'm utilizing HomeKit with my smart lights and my smart devices, some smart switches. I'm not going to really show you the smart switches. That's pretty much self-explanatory. I just have them to come on and come off, as I need. But I do want to show you again a little better video of how I'm using Plex with my smart lights. So I have my Harmony Elite remote and I have my Apple Watch that I'm going to be using the commands with. So with the commands, I can use it with my Apple Watch, I can use my iPad, I can use my phone, or I can use my HomePod Mini. So for now, I'm going to use my watch because my HomePod Mini is in another room and I'm using my phone to record. So I'm going to hit play with so first I'm going to show you Plex and when I hit play and pause. So I'm going to play this. So as you can see, the lights turned off. And I'm actually going to turn off my ring light that's on my phone so that I'm not getting ambient light. Okay, so now I turned on all the lights in my home theater. That way when I press play, you can see how all of them will turn off. So let me go back here again, hit resume. And all the lights turned off. I don't think you can see, but my riser lights went down to about 1%. So I'm going to hit pause again. So now my riser lights come up to a different percentage so I can see where I'm going. If I need to leave the room, I need to go to the kitchen, go to the bathroom, go get a snack, whatever. So I'm going to hit play. Let's go down. Now I'm just going to stop the video. Alright, so now I'm going to run through some commands through my Apple Watch. Hey Siri, movie mode.
Movie mode coming right up. All set.
Hey Siri, intermission.
Intermission coming right up. Done.
Hey Siri, riser.
Riser coming right up. All set.
Hey Siri, time to eat.
Time to eat coming right up. Done.
Hey Siri, movie mode.
Movie mode coming right up. Okay.
Hey Siri, relax.
Relax coming right up.
For some reason that one didn't come on. Hey Siri, chill.
Chill coming right up. All set.
Hey Siri, movie mode.
Movie mode coming right up. Done.
Hey Siri, turn on all the lights in the theater.
Did you want to turn on all your lights?
And see, actually I messed up because I messed up the command. So, let me redo that. Hey Siri, turn on all the lights in man cave.
Understood. Request sent.
So, there you have it. If you want, I can do a separate video on how you can set up HomeKit with Plex. You're gonna have to do it with Homebridge, but you know, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. I've actually been talking with my cousin Jared, and we've been discussing how we can maybe try to make a tutorial video of how you can set up Plex with Homebridge. So if that's something that you want to see, let me know in the comments, and me and him can start working on that and hopefully get that out to you at some point.
So as you can see, smart home integration is really awesome. It's really cool if you can integrate it with your home theater and your system. Let me know in the comments what you guys are using for your smart home integration and if you're going to integrate it into your home theater. I also wanted to correct a mistake that I made in the video where I was showing you how many devices you could have with the Harmony Hub. I have 8 devices currently, and I have 7 left, so you can have a total of 15, not 18. So I just wanted to correct myself on that. Now, as I mentioned before, I have a cousin who is a programmer, and he's working on a really cool app that's going to be able to integrate with your home theater. It started out as a digital movie poster, but he's got some really cool ideas that we've been discussing, and I can't wait to show you guys. And the really cool part is once he finishes the program, we're going to need beta testers. So I'm going to have him on the channel. I'm going to interview him, introduce him. He's going to talk about his product, what it can do, and then we're going to tell you where you guys can find it. And we're going to need beta testers because we want to find quirks, or if there's anything that needs to be fixed or updated. And we want to hear your ideas as well, because we selfishly want to make an app for us, and I say we loosely because my cousin's the brain behind the whole operation. I'm not doing anything. I'm just being used as a platform to try to help him, grow his product. But we also know that there's so many other people out there that are into home theater like we are. We just love it, and we want to share something with you guys so that you can get the same experience or even better experience than the theaters, and you can share that experience with your friends and family when they come over. So I can't wait. I don't have a tentative date of when that's going to be, unfortunately, but just know that he's working on it, and once he gets it up and running, I'm going to have him on the channel to introduce it. So I'm really excited, and I can't wait to show that to you. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found these tips helpful. I know these are some things that have really helped me in my home theater experience, and to just make it more enjoyable and pleasurable viewing experience, not only for me, but for my friends who come over as well. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification. See you guys in the next video.